Now, what we see here are two examples of labor, and that's what I want to use as a backdrop to help us to understand the importance and the power of cash flow. Because somebody is here today, you need to move into a place where instead of you working for money, money will begin to work for you. Now listen, so Isaac needs meat, and he calls Esau and he says, Esau, I need meat, but I want you to go to the field and go and hunt for meat. So it means that every time that Isaac needed meat, he will have to go and labor to get the meat by sending someone into the field. But when Rebecca heard that discussion, Rebecca has already put some things in place, so that what Isaac was telling Esau to go and get in the field, Rebecca was rearing in the backyard. Oh my God. So that means that there was a day that Rebecca went to the field and got a male child or a male goat and brought the male goat home, but refused to eat the male goat. Delayed gratification. Hello? And then there was a day Rebecca went to the field again and got a female goat and refused to eat the female goat. Delayed gratification. So there was a point in the life of Rebecca where two things were done. Gratification was delayed, and the fruit of her labor was saved. Hello? So she goes to the field, gets a male goat. Instead of eating it, she saves it. Instead of enjoying that meat, now she delays gratification to keep that goat. She goes to the field again, and then she gets a female goat. Instead of eating that female goat, she saves it. And instead of enjoying that meat, she delays gratification. And guess what? Male and female in the backyard started giving birth to children, so that at a point in the life of Rebecca, she does not need to go to the field anymore in order to get what she needed, because her labors of yesterday and the savings of yesterday and the delayed gratification of yesterday have created a system in her backyard. And the system that was created in the backyard began to produce for her without her having to go to the field to labor again. Someone say cash flow. That's what cash flow is all about. Cash flow is simply you coming into a place where you have put systems and structures in place for your assets and your labors to continue to produce money without any extra labor. So repeat after me. Cash flow is me putting systems in place for my labors and my assets to continue to produce cash without me having to labor again. I need 4 members of the choir to help me. Please come, 4 people. Because I just want to lay, you can come up. I just want to lay foundation and then we'll pray. Can I have somebody on the keyboard just be giving me some strings on that? Let it just be there all through the message. I feel the anointing. Just line up 4 of you. Now listen, I've been around for a while, and I've seen how religion has messed up the life of people. I've seen how people, because of lack of understanding of the ways of God, have gotten themselves trapped in religion. Listen, people of God, there's a difference between the person of Jesus and the principles of Jesus. When you come into the church and you get born again, the person of Jesus saves you. The person of Jesus gives you peace. The person of Jesus guarantees your eternity. But guess what? When Jesus was alive on earth, he was preaching and teaching from synagogue to synagogue, from village to village, from place to place, teaching parables. Now those teachings of Jesus are what we call the principles of Jesus. They are kingdom principles. So in order for you to prosper here on earth, you don't prosper by the person of Jesus, you prosper by the principles of Jesus. Hello somebody. So when you begin to obey the principles of Jesus, those principles will give you prosperity here on earth. And that is why, listen to what I'm about to say, you don't need to be born again to be rich. The richest people on earth are not born again Christians. But guess what? You can never become rich without the application of the principles of Jesus. The principles of Jesus are universal principles that has nothing to do with your religious inclination. They are universal principles that has everything to do with the fact that he is the creator and he has put principles in place to manage his creation. So everybody is a creation of God, but not everybody is a child of God. And when people that are outside of church, because the confusion for many Christians is but there are people that are not born again and they have money. Oh, this one will come to church and they tell us to give. They are just looking after our money. Okay, I'll come back to that. But listen, everyone that is rich today are rich and wealthy. Why? Because they apply principles of Jesus. So the problem is the church has embraced the person of Jesus, but we have rejected the principles of Jesus because we think that all we need is just the person. The church embraced the person of Jesus, so we fast, we pray, we do all kinds of stuff. But when it comes to savings, we don't want to save. When it comes to investment, we don't want to invest. When it comes to working, we don't want to work. People even believe that they can pray and become rich, and it doesn't work like that. But guess what? The world has embraced the principles of Jesus. Even though they have rejected the person of Jesus, the principles of Jesus that they have embraced continues to work for them whether they are saved or not. Why? The rain falls on the righteous and the unrighteous. The sun falls on the righteous and the unrighteous. Why? Because they are principles of the kingdom. They are principles of creation. So you see a lot of people that are born again and poor. Why? Because they think that just by being born again they can become rich. Let me show you this now. Let me give you an example of how this thing works so that you can choose which one, and then we'll go deeper and then we'll pray. Now we are going from Lagos. You remember the last time I came, if you were here last year, we did multiple streams. One will look at the money stakes, and I showed you different kinds. But now let's look at this from this way. Now we are going from Lagos to Abuja now. Question 1. Please listen to the question before you answer, because understanding the question is the key to getting the answer. Question 1. Is it possible to trek from Lagos to Abuja? Yes or no? So yes. Okay, so it's possible. You know, somebody trek during election and now he wants to withdraw his trekking. Okay, so now, so if this guy is trekking from Lagos to Abuja, he's trekking, this guy takes a bike, Okada or tricycle, Marwa as we call it here, Keke Napep, from Lagos to Abuja, and this guy takes a car, think of any car, SUV, Mercedes-Benz, whatever, the sports car, from Lagos to Abuja, and this guy decides to fly from Lagos to Abuja. Who will get to Abuja first? So now we're going deeper now, because this is a school. It's not for you to jump and scream and shout. It's for you to get understanding, because by the time we begin to pray, the hand of God will rest upon you. The wisdom of God will come upon you. You will step out of this place and you begin to realize that things are shifting all around you, because the supernatural is a combination of the super and the natural. The super will remain super without the natural. The natural will remain natural without the super. It's a combination of that supernatural that produces the supernatural. So I'm giving you understanding so that by the time I begin to pray, things will begin to work in a supernatural dimension. Now, this guy that decides to take the flight will arrive first, all things being equal. Someone say all things being equal. If I offload that one now, that's another department, because the plane can crash. That is why to think that you can do without God is foolishness. Hello? So now this guy, now will he get to Abuja first because he's holier than all of them? Now will he get to Abuja first because he's more prayerful than all of them? Now will he get to Abuja first because there are no witches and wizards in his village? Will he get to Abuja first because he's more intelligent than all of them? So why will he get to Abuja first? Simple. The vehicle he has decided to use is a leverage and an advantage to his journey. Now, this man that decides to trek, he will most likely not arrive. But even if he's going to arrive, maybe after some weeks or some months, depending on a lot of factors, all things being equal, when he finally meets someone on the road, and he has been on the road for 6 months trying to get to Abuja, when they tell him, why are you not in Abuja, what will be his excuse? It's because there's one demon in my father's house. There's one altar. They have been fighting me in my father's house. Now, will he be right or wrong? He will be wrong, but to him he is right, because that is his reality. So many of you in church that are blaming demon, blaming your father's altar, is because if now this guy will now go from vigil to vigil, mountain to mountain, praying. Now, and all he needs is just ticket money to come to this level. Embrace, welcome him to the club. Now, if you give him ticket money, now does it mean the prayer? Now, doesn't mean he will no more pray. He will still pray, but his prayer will now be focused on something more serious. Oh my God, are you getting it? So now, when we talk about cash flow, you need to ask yourself, what are the cash flow opportunities you have around you, and what is the cash flow vehicle that you are using, which is what we want to deal with this first service, and then we'll continue the second service. So now listen. One person is trekking, one person is biking, one person is driving, one person is flying. That gives you examples of the different kinds of cash flow opportunities you can have and how it can help to accelerate your journey. So let's shift it around now. Just move around and change position and change position. Yeah. Okay. So forget the first session. This is another session. There are now 4 different people. So now let's look at 4 kinds of cash flow platforms that people have to utilize so that you can evaluate yourself. So this guy now, they call this the cash flow quadrant. This guy is a salary earner. Is what? So he's a salary earner. Now, as a salary earner, for him to okay, what are we looking at this morning? Cash flow, right? So let's break it down. What's the first part? What's the second part? What's the first part? What's the second part? So cash flow is how cash flows in. That's what we're looking at. How do you get to a place where your cash is flowing to help you? Now, what did Isaac tell Esau? You need cash. Go to the forest. Carry your apparatus. Go and work so that cash can come. That is paid employment. That is what? That is what? That is what? So if you are sitting down here right now and you are a salary earner, I have said it over and over again, salary is slavery. There is nothing wrong earning a salary. We all most likely will start out earning salary, but don't sit down there. Don't stay with salary alone. Why? Because if you are a salary earner, what that simply means is, in order for cash to ever flow into your life, you must go into the field and work. And after going to the field to work, you come back and eat what you have gotten. To get another one again, you go into the field and work again. So it means that the day you stop working, you stop. So cash will stop flowing the day you stop working. So the day they sack you, the day you retire, the day there is lockdown, the day the company falls off. So your life is at the mercy of situations and circumstances that are beyond your control, and your life is at the mercy of other people's decision. So somebody can just wake up and say they don't like you and say, get out of here, I'm sacking you. So if you are sitting down here today and you are a salary earner, something will happen to you today that will help you to open up other streams of income. And between now and the end of the year, you will suddenly realize that you are no more depending on salary to survive, in the name of Jesus. Now, so this is one. So anyone that is on this level is at the lowest level on the cash flow ladder, because on the cash flow ladder, working to get money, laboring to get money, working for salary is the lowest level. But now there is a second dimension. The second dimension on the cash flow ladder is what we call self-employed. Somebody say self-employed. Somebody say self-employed. Now, you see, a lot of people are self-employed, but they still have a lot of limitations in their life, because in order for cash to flow in the dimension that will produce the kind of wealth that is required for you to fulfill destiny, you can't stay with salary, neither can you stay with self-employed. So let me help you understand why this is also a limitation. So you are a self-employed person. So who is a self-employed person? Somebody that works for themselves. So you run a barbering salon, you run a dry cleaning company, or you are a dry cleaner, or you are a trader, or you are a marketer, or you are a plumber, or you are an electrician, or you are a driver, or you are whatever, but you are self-employed. You employ yourself and work for yourself. Now that is a little better than this, but not too different as people think. You know why? So let's take one example. You are a fashion designer. So you are a fashion designer, you are self-employed, and then when people want to sew clothes, they come to you, you measure them, you sew the clothes, you give to them. So please answer the following 3 questions. Question 1: you, as the only person that is in that company doing your fashion business, can you sew 1,000 clothes in 1 month? Can you? If God moves supernaturally and 1,000 customers are calling you, you came to church, we release anointing, and 1,000 customers are calling you, oh yeah, I need it, can you meet their needs? Question 3: if you die, will the business continue? Will cash continue to flow? So are you seeing now? So once you are a self-employed person, you are actually a trader, not a businessman. Are we beginning to get it now? So let's move to the 3rd level. The 3rd level is a business owner. Now a business owner is different from a self-employed person. So that self-employed individual can become a business owner if they move from self-employed mindset to entrepreneurship mindset. Many people that are self-employed, when you tell them why not employ 3 or 4 people so that you can give them machine, let them also join you to be sewing, what would they tell you? How do you expect me to see money to pay them? Even the one I'm doing now, do you know how much I'm making? I can't pay all those people. And listen to me, all the people that become business owners that are paying people, any businessman here will tell you they also did not have money to pay anybody, but when they made the decision to employ the people, the money to pay them came. True of us. So the reason why people remain at this level is because they don't have an entrepreneurial mindset. They are traders, so they don't have that ability to take risk, because entrepreneurship is risk taking. They don't have the ability to take, and guess what? Every time you move from this level to becoming a business owner, the difference between a self-employed and a business owner is systems and structures. That's just the difference. As an entrepreneur, you put systems and structures in place so that with or without you, the company will continue. So if that fashion designer wants to move from self-employed to becoming an entrepreneur or a business owner, what does he or she needs to do? Set up a structure for recruitment, set up a structure for getting customers, set up a structure for the staff to fulfill the order, set up a structure for the quality of what you produce to be the same, set up a structure to ensure that all the resources that come is well managed. That structure, that systems is what entrepreneurship is all about. And once that person does that, if 1,000 others come, can he take care of them or not? He can. Why? Because he's now not the one sewing. He has enough people working with him to make sure it happens. Do you understand that now? And guess what? Whether he dies or not, because the company is now a business with systems and structures, the business continues to move regardless of him being there. Do you understand that now? So now when we talk about cash flow, we are talking about you understanding the limitation of where you are, so that you can be able to position yourself in such a way that you will put systems and structures in place for cash to continue to flow with or without extra labor from you. Do you get that now? So let's move to the final guy. This final guy is an investor. Someone say investor. Someone say investor. Now this guy is an investor. You know what this guy does? He does not necessarily have a business. He does not necessarily, and then the money he was saving, what was he doing? He was using that money to invest in other people's business and ventures. So even though he is not physically involved in all this, he takes money and gives this guy money and say, you are a fashion designer, I see that your business is moving, but you need this machine, you need this. If I give you 500,000 to help you buy this machine, how much can you give me? And this guy say, if you can give me that money, in fact, I can, for 500, I can give you 1 million in 1 year. I'll be paying you 50,000. Do you understand now? So now he is not involved physically, but he has invested his money in this business. And he can even come to him and say, you know what, I don't even want you to pay me now, I just want to have a part of your business. So he can give this man 1 million and say, for 1 million I want 30% of your business. And every labor of this man, he gets 30% of this without being involved in the business. Do you understand that? He's an investor now. He does the same thing here with the business owner. He buys shares in this business, he gets equity in this business, he invests in this business. So what he does is that he uses his money to invest in assets that will continue to produce cash flow for him. So when he invests in these people's businesses, he's getting money. He invests in real estate, he's getting money. So sometimes when you see people like this that understands the power of cash flow, and they have put money in different cash flow producing assets, you see them as if they are lazy. You wonder, what are these people doing? But every month, every week, every year, money is flowing to them. Cash is coming their way from all the different assets that they have established that is producing for them. Do you understand that now? So whenever they need anything, like Rebecca, they go to the backyard to take it. Do you understand that? God bless you. Go back to your seat. So as we get ready to pray, cash flow is very powerful. But the first thing that needs to be done is to ensure that you program and position your life in such a way that everything that you do is not about you laboring to produce. It's about you putting systems and structures in place that whether you labor hard or not, you have put your money into things that continues to labor for you. So for instance, because I'm wrapping up now, we're going to pray. We'll continue the second service. If you have money and you put the money in transportation, and somebody is running Uber for you, or somebody is running transportation business for you, you are still a salary earner, but another money is coming from that. You have money, and as you put money together, you open a barbering salon, so hairdressing salon, you set it up, and then barbers, manicure and pedicurists, hairstylists come and they take table. Do you know what I'm talking about? Everybody takes table. So you have 4 barbering points, and the 4 barbers take a table. So they own the table inside your salon, and they pay you every month. The stylist, 4 of them does the same. Manicure, pedicure, weave on, all those stuff. Everybody takes. Now you are busy with your work. You just get somebody to manage that. So what are you doing? You are creating different cash flow opportunities for yourself. You buy a flat here, somebody's paying for the flat. You buy another flat here, you turn it to shortlets, somebody's paying for that. What's happening? Cash is flowing from different places, so that whether you are physically laboring or not, whether you are physically available or not, cash will continue to flow. Rise up on your feet.